What's making you feel increasingly poorer in life isn't your meager income, nor is it a lack of hard work, but rather those seemingly harmless habits that subtly harbor what the book calls latte factors in your life. When you identify these latte factors that are creeping into your daily existence, you'll understand why you can't get richer, why you can't save more money, and how to overcome spending worries and the fear of scarcity within yourself. The author of the book, David Bach, once appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. He is a highly influential financial expert in the US. Many people have reported that his advice completely transformed their lives. The interesting thing about this book is that it's written as a story. A young woman named Joey goes to work every day with a latte in hand, earning a relatively high income of $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Yet, she constantly feels short on money and is burdened by credit card debt. The methods woven into this story are presented in the most authentic and relatable way, allowing us to reflect on ourselves. This book aims to inspire you because it's not just about financial management, but also about values and habits that can change your lifestyle to overcome your fears of financial scarcity. As Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And cultivating the right financial habits will be the key to unlocking the door to your own freedom. Joey works as an editor at a New York publishing house. One day, while buying a latte, she was captivated by a painting of a beautiful island. She really wanted to buy it, but when she heard the price, $1,200, 4 words immediately popped into her head. I can't afford it. This phrase had appeared many, many times in her life. No money for travel, no money for extra classes, not enough money to buy this or that. Returning to the office feeling down due to financial pressure, her editor-in-chief noticed and advised her to meet Henry, a coffee expert in the building. Joey found it confusing why she should discuss finances with a barista, but this was the beginning of an encounter that could change her entire life. Unable to suppress her curiosity, Joey eventually sought out Henry, filled with inner turmoil. Just then, a friend had offered her a higher-paying job. However, her current job was one she truly loved, but the salary simply wasn't enough. Standing at a crossroads, Joey was torn, unsure whether to stick with the job she loved and find part-time work to ease the financial pressure, or to definitively switch to the new, higher-paying job. This is precisely the situation many young people face today, constantly asking themselves, what job should I do? Henry told Joey, to stop worrying about money, the solution isn't about doing something to earn more, but about gaining financial freedom. He continued, you just need to follow 3 steps and you'll achieve financial freedom. I don't even have enough money and he's talking about financial freedom? Joey chuckled to herself. She probably thought the 3 steps would be winning the lottery, becoming famous overnight, or inheriting money from a distant relative. Do you think like Joey? But achieving financial freedom isn't as distant as we imagine. The first step Henry advised for financial freedom is to learn to put yourself first, to invest in yourself first. What do you understand by investing in yourself? Is it learning a new skill, studying abroad, or traveling to broaden your horizons? Not quite, Henry said. Investing in yourself means that you must be the first one to receive money, not some government, institution, or entrepreneur getting money from you. This means you must regularly set aside a fixed amount for yourself. It absolutely must be done regularly to harness the power of compound interest. Many say compound interest is difficult to achieve, just a distant illusion. But in reality, it's not as unattainable as you think, because it is a natural law of all things. Like a tiny seed that patiently grows, adding a layer of growth each season until it creates an entire forest. This world propagates and evolves thanks to that very accumulation. Therefore, compound interest not only exists, but is also an obvious secret of life. Henry did a calculation for Joey. He placed $5 on the table and said, if you save $5 every day at a 10% annual interest rate, in 40 years, you will have $948,611. If you save $10 every day, in 40 years, the amount will be $1,942,224. This is the power of compound interest. But many people argue, if I don't even have enough money to spend each month, how can I save regularly? It's precisely because you always feel like you don't have enough money that you constantly feel stressed and believe you're not rich. Henry said you are richer than you think. If you can buy a cup of coffee every day, you can also buy a house. What you lack isn't money, but the right financial habit. As soon as you recognize the latte factors in your own life and gradually eliminate them, you will easily be able to save a significant amount of money for yourself. And from that small habit, immense power can change your entire future. So, what exactly is a latte factor? It means that even though you say you don't have money, you can still afford to buy a cup of coffee every day. In fact, we spend a lot of money daily on things that could absolutely be saved. The latte factor isn't just limited to coffee. It symbolizes all those small, insignificant, non-essential expenses in daily life. Seemingly harmless, but accumulated over the long term, they become a huge sum and have a massive impact on your finances. For some, it's coffee. For others, it's bubble tea, snacks, fast food delivery, cigarettes, paid apps for movies or games that are rarely used, gym memberships that are never attended, online shopping sprees for cheap items 9K, 19K with free shipping that add up to millions of dong each month, excessive cosmetics or fashion, weekend bar hops, karaoke nights, parties, or constantly upgrading phones, headphones, and accessories that aren't truly necessary, and so on. The common thread among all these latte factors is your willingness to pay for instant gratification. But in the long run, they silently chip away at your wallet every day. Therefore, it's crucial to look back at your life and see how these latte factors are subtly creeping in. After recognizing them, we must also learn how to consistently save the money from these latte factors. There's a funny story. Person A told Person B, "Stop smoking, save the money you spend on cigarettes." Person B replied, "Well, asterisk you don't smoke, so where did your money go?" It's true that some people don't have many latte factors in their lives but still can't save money. The reason is they don't know how to manage their spending. What do you usually do to manage your monthly expenses? Many people like to meticulously track their spending, noting down how much they spent each day, calculating how money should be allocated, and identifying what can be saved. But the author said that daily tracking like that can be exhausting, significantly reducing the joy of living, and is often unsustainable. He advised that the best approach is not to create budgets, but to automate your accounts. And this is precisely the second step to achieving financial freedom: automate your accounts. What does this mean? It means you need to set up an account. For example, Henry advised Joey to set up a retirement account. When you get paid, immediately transfer a fixed amount into this account. After that deduction, you can spend the rest however you wish. You don't need to carry a small notebook or use an app to track every day, turning life into a burden. Just treat that fixed savings amount as if it never existed. Let it sit untouched for 40 years. Use that account to buy mutual funds, stocks, gold, or simply government bonds, or put it into a fixed-term deposit. Just put the money there and forget about it. You can also set up several goal-based accounts according to your life's needs. For instance, you could allocate 6% to a retirement account, 2% to an emergency fund for your parents, 4% for learning new skills, reading books or attending courses, and 4% for dreams or travel. Each month, set up automatic transfers to these accounts, either through your bank or by manually transferring regularly. Doing this makes saving a natural action. You no longer have to struggle with guilt every time you spend because you know the most important part has been set aside for the future. This simplicity helps you build wealth sustainably and allows you to spend wisely while comfortably and leisurely enjoying life. So, why is the role of saving in building wealth emphasized so much here? Because the author realized that most people often fall into 3 fundamental errors in their money mindset, and only saving can help you get on the right track. Misconception number 1, asterisk you have to earn a lot more money to become rich. Some people think that to be rich, you must strive to earn a lot of money, not by saving. This is only partially true, because if you only focus on earning without managing your spending, the more you earn, the more easily you fall into the trap of earning more and spending more. If you can't manage your current money, you won't be able to manage larger sums in the future. And also, human desires are endless. As salaries increase, material desires also grow. That's why many celebrities and high-income earners still find themselves in debt and scarcity. Conversely, some people choose to live too frugally, cutting off all joy and life experiences. This extreme form of saving does not lead to true wealth, but only makes money a mental burden. Therefore, it is important to abandon the mindset that only by earning a lot can I be rich. Only then will you escape the two psychological traps that both stem from a feeling of scarcity. 1. Always feeling you don't have enough, constantly craving more. 2. Being so ascetic that you dare not spend, fearing that if you spend, nothing will be left. As Warren Buffett once said, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. You will escape the scarcity mindset and feel more abundant and wealthy precisely by automating your financial management. Misconception number 2, asterisk to earn a lot of money, you need capital. Many people think that working a salaried job will never make you rich. You have to start a business to become wealthy. But starting a business requires significant capital. So, they simply accept staying poor forever. The author believes this is a misconception because, in reality, you don't necessarily have to be directly involved in business to become rich. There are many low-risk paths to wealth creation that don't require you to have a large amount of capital from the start. What you need more is enthusiasm, ideas, flexibility, creativity, and the ability to collaborate. The truth is that the starting point of wealth is not capital, but knowing how to manage the small amounts of money in your hands. Misconception number 3, asterisk thinking that others will take care of you. When you are young, your parents take care of you. When you grow up, your spouse takes care of you. In old age, your children. And if you fall on hard times, the government will help. So someone will always take care of you. That's what many people think. But don't think that way. The only person who can truly take care of you and help you avoid a difficult life is yourself. Therefore, you absolutely must prepare for yourself. After talking with Henry, Joey went home, and her friend Jeffrey invited her out for pizza. Jeffrey was an aspiring entrepreneur. He was a risk-taker, believing that one success was all he needed. When he heard about Joey's conversation with Henry, Jeffrey laughed mockingly. You're so naive. First, a 10% interest rate. How can you maintain 10% compound interest all the time? Impossible, completely untrustworthy. Second, you're not considering inflation. If you save so much with inflation, you'll just be working for others, saving for the government. The more you save, the more the government benefits, and you get hardly anything yourself. Third, and most ridiculous, you're taking advice from a barista. If he were truly successful, why would he still be a barista? You shouldn't let someone like that fool you. Hearing this, Joey also wondered if saving was foolish. If saving couldn't beat inflation, what then? One day, when Joey visited Henry again, a friend named Barron stopped by. He told Joey a saying from Texas: big hat, no cattle, meaning someone who looks important and powerful on the outside but lacks real capability. He admitted he used to be like that, always appearing flashy and talking about big deals, but he was actually on the verge of bankruptcy. Day after day, he smoked, drank, stayed up late, got angry easily, and his health steadily declined. Fortunately, he met Henry. Henry constantly advised Barron to eliminate cigarettes and alcohol from his life, which would save him $1 a day, and to avoid the trap of minimum credit card payments. With credit cards, if you only pay the minimum, the bank won't push you. But the problem is that the unpaid portion incurs extremely high interest rates. For example, if you borrow $20,000 from the bank and only pay the minimum, it could take 18 years to pay it off, and the interest burden is truly staggering. Following Henry's advice, Barron and his wife decided to buy second-hand items when necessary, paying with cash and avoiding debt. Used items aren't necessarily of lower quality. They're just cheaper because they've passed through someone else's hands. Additionally, they developed the daily habit of quitting smoking and drinking, saving $1 a day. Gradually, the couple built up compound interest, overcame their financial crisis, and regained their health. From Barron's story, Joey learned that many things in life have the nature of compound interest. Debt, for instance, is a form of compound interest on top of interest. But this is the compound interest of a negative cycle. Even if it's not high-interest loans, the more you borrow, the larger the interest grows. Conversely, saving is also compound interest, but a positive cycle. Simply saving money in a piggy bank or letting it sit idle in an account means inflation will erode its value. But if there is long-term investment, such as in funds, stocks, gold, etc., its compound interest will truly help assets grow. Moreover, when you save and invest, you get another parallel compound benefit: health. This is because you learn to gradually eliminate latte factors. If you never used to pack lunch for work, now you'll learn to cook and choose healthy foods. you'll gradually reduce the habit of drinking sugary drinks or expensive coffee every day. Instead of frequently going to cafes, you'll invest in a home coffee machine to save money in the long run. You'll start bringing your own water bottle to work instead of spending money on bottled water. You'll cancel paid TV channels and gaming subscriptions, opting instead to read books or learn new skills based on your interests. A healthy body, a clear mind, and higher productivity. This is the wonderful compound interest from taking care of your health. Joey continued to ask Henry, "My friend said there's no such thing as a 10% interest rate now." Henry smiled. "Well, then let's calculate with 5%. The 10% figure has a basis because, over the past few decades, the S&P 500 index has had an average annual return of over 10%. But even if you don't calculate with 10%, but with 5% or 4%, the power of compound interest can still be unleashed. For example, if you invest 50,000 VND every day for 40 years with a 5% annual return, you'll eventually have 2.2 billion VND. If you invest 100,000 VND in yourself every day for 40 years, you'll end up with about 4.5 billion VND. Most people only view stocks as a speculative game. They sell after a 20% profit, at most 40%. This shows they haven't recognized the true value of stocks. Stocks mean you become a part of a company, investing long-term and growing with it. Investing long-term and growing with it, just like Henry himself. When he was young, his family was extremely poor, but his grandmother established a tradition of saving $1 a week. When he was 7, his grandmother bought Henry not a McDonald's hamburger, but shares in that very company. From then on, he grew with the company, and it became an important asset that saved his entire family from poverty and gradually made them well off. Henry is actually over 70 now. He is someone who achieved financial freedom early. He owned a coffee shop for 36 years. When Starbucks expanded aggressively, most private cafes there had to close. But he persevered for 2 reasons. First, he bought the building where his coffee shop was located. The entire building Starbucks was renting was also his. Second, instead of protesting against Starbucks like everyone else, he bought their stock. This way, if his cafe struggled against Starbucks, the stock would still bring him profit. Conversely, if his cafe thrived, he would continue to prosper. This is a balanced leverage strategy, keeping one side safe while investing in a higher risk side, so no matter what scenario unfolds, he doesn't suffer major losses, and notably, he can still do the job of a barista that he loves. Hearing this, Joey was eager to hear Henry's advice for step number 3 to achieve financial freedom. Step number 3 to achieving financial freedom. From now on, live like a rich person. Joey was surprised. "But I'm not rich. How can I live like a rich person?" Henry smiled. "Wealth is, first and foremost, a state of mind. You must live with the composure and confidence of a rich person. Believe that the money in your account is steadily growing and you can spend calmly within your means." He referred to the Nobel Prize-winning economics book Poor Economics by Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo. This book explains why the poor often get poorer, and the core reason lies in how they deal with pressure. Poor people often spend more money on things like cable TV or unnecessary cheap shopping items. That's how they temporarily alleviate financial stress and life pressure. However, these things only provide short-lived pleasure, quickly fading away, doing nothing to broaden their horizons or accumulate long-term value. In contrast, truly wealthy people don't avoid pressure but learn to transform it. They restrain desires, escaping dependence on short-term pleasures. Instead, they prioritize saving and investing in knowledge, experiences, health, and income-generating assets. It is this abundance in their mindset and lifestyle that helps them face difficulties with composure and become increasingly free, both financially and mentally. When we start living like a rich person today, not by spending lavishly or living superficially, but with a mindset of abundance and a habit of accumulation, then true wealth will begin to form within us. Henry assured Joey, "If you have a plan and follow these 3 steps, you can absolutely achieve financial freedom." In the end, Joey chose to continue doing the work she loved instead of chasing a high-paying job that felt meaningless. She began setting up automatic transfers, one for her retirement fund and one for her dream fund. She managed her credit cards, absolutely refusing to fall into the trap of minimum payments. The Latte Factors gradually disappeared from her life. In just 3 years, Joey treated herself to 3 international trips. By the age of 30, she felt like the richest person in the world. Although not yet a millionaire, she was in control of her life, knowing she was on the right path. Her retirement account grew steadily, and her travel experiences were all paid for from the dream fund she built. The core message of this book is quite simple. Learn to delay instant gratification, learn to prioritize what's important, and start living like a rich person right now. Because being rich isn't just about having a lot of money, it's about having the freedom to choose, to live a life not swept away by pressure. And when you learn to let go of petty satisfactions, save regularly, and invest long-term, then with each passing day, you truly become a wealthy person. Overcome the fear of scarcity and escape the cycle of instant gratification. This is a spirit worth sharing. May starting with the simplest habit, reducing the latte factors from your life, help you become more prosperous, wealthy, tranquil, and free.